anything that is big enough for your spouse to call off the relationship is big enough to be a ground for divorce. Even on that customary practice, if you take it up and say that the reason why I want to leave my husband's marriage is because my husband is always beating me. Even your king cannot force you to be married. Even because label differences just simply means that there are things that you are doing that I don't like and I don't want. No. And I don't want to continue in the marriage with you. We have not been able to settle or come in, right? Even because label differences actually mean that you can almost be doing something illegal as far as I
agree with you. You can continue, because I was going to say that you can continue.
That's why we have condemnation of adultery. Yes, adultery may be a ground of divorce, but the other party can condone it.
Hello and welcome. My name is Adenike Yarikwa and I'm your host. This is a continuation of an extensive 2-hour conversation on various issues relating to marriage, which we have now broken down into multiple parts. You can start by either listening to this episode or other previous episodes to enjoy the full conversation. Let's talk about those ones that do want it as a marriage.
Yes.
They want to be just me, my husband, and I. Now let's focus a little bit on them.
Yes.
Now, in those marriages, some of these things, you can't exhibit the same traits you are exhibiting in a marriage as a man that has 4 wives in such a home where the woman wants,
of course,
just you, just her. Now, can you tell us from your own from practice, your experience, what are some of the challenges that you've seen in marriages that usually lead to divorce?
Oh, there are a lot of things. A lot of things. It's coming back to one of the things we were saying earlier on. When people actually do not understand the intricacies of each of these marriages, you understand that they don't understand it. They just feel like, we should just, I can live my life the way I am. So you have to say, am I not the man? Yes. Right, this is not customary marriage.
Yes.
Right, but you say, am I not the man? Like, now, over time, we have not fused, our lives have not yet been, we are completely fused. Completely fused in the sense that our custom, our religion, and many of our civil laws have not fused us into one entity. Let me try to see if I can still break it down. It's like we are still very, very separate. It's like there's a difference between if I tell you I'm a traditional man and if I tell you I'm a Christian. What it literally means is that when Christianity came, I did not infuse my culture and rewire my culture into my religion. I saw my religion as something on my left hand. I saw my culture as something on my right hand.
So
then I saw civil laws as one other thing that just exists. You get it, understanding? Yes. That's actually many of the things that is causing the big problem. So I have divorce cases I'm to file right now. Now there are divorce cases I'm to do right now. And it is surprising to note that there's one I have right now. And the man is like, what's wrong in him having a side chick outside? The person who does statutory marriage today calls it he's cheating. He has a side chick. The traditional man says that he has a mistress. He says that he has a concubine. There is a place for that in our customary, in our culture. There's a place for somebody having a mistress, somebody having a concubine. It's allowed. It's allowed. So, but this person is having a statutory marriage and wants to just live that traditional life.
And lifestyle.
It's traditional wiring. And you are like saying that there's a problem. It's like, no, it's not like I don't love my wife. It's not like he doesn't even see it as cheating. You get it? It's like, I just have a mistress. Like, how is having this mistress actually affecting you? What is it affecting from you? And what problem is this mistress causing to you? Right? You understand it now? So the the looking at that and you are looking at the causes for divorce, they will always come down to one primary thing. And that primary thing is irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
That the two people have irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences just simply means that there are things that you are doing that I don't like and I don't want. And I don't want to continue the marriage with you. We have not been able to settle or come in, right? Irreconcilable differences actually mean that you can almost be doing something illegal as far as I don't have problem with it.
You can continue, because I was going to say that you can continue.
So that's why we have condemnation of adultery. Yes, adultery may be a ground of divorce, but the other party can condone it.
Yeah. Or condones it, rather.
Right? You have been adulterous. I'm not sent. As far as I'm living my life. There's only a problem when the person now sends.
That's when
or when the person now fights an issue with it. That's when it's. So the primary cause of divorce still comes back to that irreconcilable differences. And this irreconcilable differences still means that we are still unable to reconcile and harmonize our cultural, religious, and the woke culture differences.
Because I'm going to say that your expectation.
You understand now? We are unable. Like the question, you just see some things like causing issues. I must not tell you how much I earn. You don't have access to my phone. You hit your spouse, right? Under customary law, can you hit your spouse? The law does not actually says you can hit your spouse. That's really interesting. I don't know of any custom that actually gives a husband the power, the permission to beat. I know Islam. In Islam, there's actually a particular scripture that allows women to be beaten, to be disciplined.
Okay.
Right? Yes, there's that in Islam. But even under our customary laws and the rest, if beating was something so allowed, I don't think families would have been having meetings over it.
True.
But the fact that families have meetings over it shows that it is not supposed to be a norm. Families do not have meetings when children are beaten.
True.
They don't have meetings when slaves and others are beaten. But why do they have those meetings when wives are beaten? If the wife ever cries out to her family and her family decides to take it up and the rest, yes, it may be that part of the condonation.
Yes.
Right? There's the condonation part of it where maybe the woman report, they tell her, oh, you should be submissive, you should be... No, the beating is never justified. Yeah. They are just trying to tell her what she can do to avoid it. But whenever she wants to take up that beating, or her family wants to take up that beating, it's an issue. It's even a ground for divorce, so that customary law.
Yes.
It's a grant for people to, it's a grant for people to return bride price.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to use my knowledge on customary law now and all the different customs that I know of. I don't know of any Nigerian custom where a husband beating the wife is lawful. It is only normalized. It's not lawful.
Okay.
It is not lawful. It's only normalized.
So explain that just means it's, if you accept it,
it's when you condone it, you are okay with it.
You're okay with it.
You are okay.
Under the law, it should not be, and you have the right to take it.
Yes. Even on that customary practice, if you take it up and say that the reason why I want to leave my husband's marriage is because my husband is always beating me, even your king cannot force you to be married. No, I'm not telling you. What I'm even saying now is that I'm saying this thing even before Europeans came into Africa. So I'm not going to say it's because we now have customary court. No, not customary court. Right from time. These are reasons why women could divorce.
So things like abuse, finance,
even adultery and the rest. It was only just, there were things that were tolerated and accommodated. But that does not mean that a woman could naturally not divorce. Because look at it now. Divorce in customary law has always existed before the colonial master scheme. It has always existed. Women could always divorce by returning the bride price. It has always existed. It's not the colonial masters that brought it. So the question now becomes, on what grounds could women do that? Right? If women could always do it, on what grounds could they do it? They could do it on adultery. They could do it on lack of care and attention. They could do it on domestic violence and abuse, they could do it. They could always do it. It's just that remarriage for them was a challenge because most people always want to marry virgins.
Under the culture, at least.
Under customary law, many men push to marry virgins. And the reason why they push to marry virgins was because of the psychological and biological issue of pair bonding, not to be compared. The idea of pair bonding, the issue of paternity fraud. They don't want a situation where the woman is maybe already pregnant for someone, right? The issue of being promiscuous, now having tested A and B, you may no longer be satisfied and you may now want more. So those may be some of the reasons. So if a woman divorced in those days, it means that it will be difficult for she to find a husband.
Especially maybe in the community, that's in community. And she would want...
Most of the time, she may find a husband who will want her as a second wife, not as a first wife. You get it now because of these traditional practices.
So there was this sense of staying once you get it.
And she did not have economic power. Economic power in the sense that if she left her marriage, she usually needed to go back to her father's house to be able to rest under the economic power of her father. And now most men will not want their daughters back. Not necessarily because they don't love you and they don't like you, but you coming back is extra bees on the family. It's not just a disgrace that you cannot stay in your marriage. No, it goes beyond that. It's the fact that you're coming back also means that you are bringing extra bees to us. If you're not also coming with children, you are bringing extra bees.
Thank you for listening to this episode. The conversation still continues and you can listen to other parts of the recording in the next episode. See you there.